crazy turn, guys.
Alright, fantastic. Alright, so we got that sorted out, and we'll just get right into introducing our players. In the top right of the map, spawning here in Antigua Shipyard, it is the Blue Terran TSL.Polt, and he just lost last map, so hopefully that hasn't affected his game. He'll be able to get the flow going back again, maybe some momentum in his favor, but his opponent spawning down in the bottom left as the Red Terran, it is MvP.Keen, making those Cloaked Banshees really work for him that last game, doing a fantastic job and carrying it forward for the win. We'll see if he can do it again here on the last map of the series when everything here in this tournament is on the line.
And are we going to have Keen try to play for the chance of the TSL4, or is it going to be Polt? Both of these guys have, great amounts of fans. Polt maybe arguably a little bit more, but that's because Keen hasn't been to any international tournaments before. No, actually, hold that thought. He was at DreamHack, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's been out, but Polt has just been everywhere. And Polt is such a nice guy, too. I mean... Yeah. He's just always smiles, he's all smiles. You can tell the TSL cats, they really do get along in the sense that both of them are just a pleasure to interview and hang out with.
I never met Keen at DreamHack. I was tied to the caster desk.
Well, yeah, they chained you there, man. I remember.
Keen was everywhere, man. God damn it. I would have loved to meet him, actually. I think he's a cool attitude, man. But anyway, let's see if Keen's going to open up Gas again. Gas seems to be her success. But this time around, he's not going to do it. He's actually going to go one Barracks Command Center.
Changing it up.
He can by golly gosh play.
Oh my gosh,
still the one Barracks Command Center easily. Like you saw his macro in the last game. Sure, he had an advantage. He had a bit of a push forward in the right direction to play that macro style, but he can play like the best of anybody else here. And it's going to be a toe-to-toe fight for the final map. No Cloaked Banshees are going to determine a loser in map 1 or a winner in map 2. It's all going to be about macro position. And especially on TV Shipyard, it is all about the Zelnoga Tower, controlling it, not allowing anything outside of your range.
Okay. Pardon me. I thought that he was going to get out there because the supply depot was down and that SV got pretty close.
Yeah, Keen denied scouting. But Keen doesn't care about scouting or being scouted of himself. Gets a faster command center.
The manlier player?
The manlier player who doesn't build a second supply depot. Gets a relatively early gas in his main as well. We'll see if he grabs a second. He does, so he could still go for delayed Cloaked Banshees. Very much so a possibility. Polt scouting up the third base in case there's a proxy barracks or anything like that. Proxy factory could have also been timed down by now as well. So he's making sure that he's not going to get cheesed out of this last game. One game remaining, and very defensive, one Barracks Command Center.
Yeah, on the high ground as well.
Yeah, really he's done that every game so far. Every game, every TVT, just very safe.
The safe and standard, that's the way to go. I mean, Polt, he's made that work in the past. The thing is, he relies on those heavy fundamentals, and he's also got... It feels like it's funny to watch Polt, though, because what I've noticed is that he's got a very aggressive TVZ style, but when it comes to TVT, he's like the most cold-blooded killer on the planet. He takes all of his time to grind you down and just plays everything so very safe and solid. It's just such a pleasure to watch, but it's just a little odd seeing that difference in the personality.
And we do have a factory coming down for Keen, who of course has double gas. So he's got a lot of gas available to spend in whichever way he wants to, whether it be a crazy double engineering bay down, whether it be straight up to Cloaked Banshee against delayed Cloaked Banshee. Either way, I mean, I wonder, I don't think Cloaked Banshee would be the best option for him here, but he may try it anyway. I mean, he got success with it last time, maybe he can do it again. Because if you think about it, he has an advantage over his opponent, but I think that he'll go StarPolt anyway, just in case his opponent's going Cloaked Banshee, right? Because you can get a Raven, you can get a Viking of his own here, so he's going to do that for sure. And because he has no information on what Polt's doing, and neither of them actually will do, but look how tight Polt is playing here.
He's keeping it all in the base. He's not giving anything away.
And I really released him again. But this is hurting Polt, because his opponent, is just out there. He's out there mining in the world. And even though Polt's in a very defensive posture and a great position to accept any damage,
it's not exactly coming. Although they're right on the money. is the scan. It's going to go ahead and unveil the plan, although we do have medevacs coming out, so the Hellion medevac drop.
And Polt
perhaps
scans and sees, I should have expanded on the ground.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now is still at equal SCV count, or a little bit lower actually, but has a lot worse saturation in the main. And that's going to play out a lot easier for Keen in the later game. His mirrors are going to last longer. He's mining more in terms of income. So things are just looking really good for Keen here. And we do have just a medevac coming out.
Yes.
A handful of units could look just to do a little bit of damage here and there with these guys. A couple of Hellions into just regular tank place. All that gas is just going to go into tanks and
siege mode.
Siege mode. I guess you could get an engineering bay as well for a nice early +1 attack as well, but seems pretty normal so far from Keen, to be honest. Just really straight out standard play, and even a third base nice and early on.
What the hell is that moth doing? It's like attacking that.
Yeah.
PT.
But I mean, Polt so far has the ability to hold off anything. We are going to have a Marine drop, not a Hellion drop. Marines take the Xel'Naga Tower away from Polt.
Not going to have any idea in any case.
And 8 Marines going to come in. Stim is done though for Polt, or will be done, sorry, in 30 seconds.
But he is slightly
And he has medevacs of his own though, and he's bringing something back because he doesn't see anything. It's just smart to bring stuff back in case of something. He saw the Starport, but he didn't see any tech labs, so...
And this is, basically the earliest it can come, correct? Where, like, if you do have that drop play coming at you. Oh, he's going to be slightly out of position.
But he's got Stim. He's got Stim in just a few seconds. He'll crush this. He can catch this. Snipe it. If he comes at the natural too. Come at the natural.
Polt!
Marines!
Polt, what are you doing? Okay, there we go. Stimming forward.
It's okay, he'll catch this all.
If he doesn't lose SCVs, this is great.
Yeah, he doesn't lose any SCVs and he kills that easy peasy.
Excellent.
Good defense.
Good defense, well done.
He's got medevacs out so he can heal. Good defense there, but no third command center for Polt yet. Of course, Keen's got his, just the upper hand in terms of economy so far. Cloak is on its way out, weirdly, is coming out. And look at that.
Changing it.
Scans.
Wow.
And sees Cloak later on.
He's insane.
Nice scan. Great scan.
That game sense. That game sense. He's just like,
and
wait
now he has
a
an
second.
engineering bay and he will build turrets and he has a Viking.
And he's got the Viking out already as well.
Nice scan. Banshee already in though, or just about to come in without Cloak. Will have Cloak. Turret not quite ready.
We have machine. We do have
no
Marines
energy.
in the main base though. They should be able to get over there.
But no energy.
Oh, no
scan.
energy. Oh.
So he's gonna lose SCVs again, like game number 2.
Oh, Polt is having flashbacks to game 2.
He's trying to fake it. He's trying to stem underneath and force the Banshee away, and he does, which is smart. Saying I have got a Snagman, but he hasn't, and now he does have one. So this Banshee won't last long. It's trapped.
Oh, stimming those Marines though.
Oh, he's
gonna catch it up here. He's gonna catch it up here.
Okay.
Or is he?
Down there. Either way,
it'll be somewhere. He's gonna get it. I like how Keen is really making this Banshee work though.
He doesn't. He knows he's a little bit behind, but he's just gonna. Oh no!
One more volley. One more volley from the Viking.
Oh, it's 2.
2. Button.
Ah, I guess that last one. Okay, it does go down, and it doesn't do that much damage. But still, with this early third command center and saturation again, he's a little bit ahead. He even denies the third command center of his opponent here. Polt prevented from taking the third base early on or building it, throws down a lot more barracks. This is very pressureful here for Polt, under a lot of pressure here.
This is awesome by Keen though. I really like to see this sort of aggressive style coming out. Instead of just sitting back and be like, okay, let's both macro. He's like, I will macro and at the same time harry you from every which way and just make sure that you are under so much pressure that you cannot keep up. Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, there we go. So the cloak wears out, and finally that Viking is going to be able to take some pot shots. And now we do have Polt making his way across the map. Blue Flame is on the way, however, for Keen, and that will finish in time before this door.
Marauder's being pumped out here by a Polt, who could be looking for a bust here. Very well could be, but his opponent has Blue Flame. He has tanks. He's plating mech from this, as you see all the factories now being put into place. It's going to be very difficult for Polt. Mech is a very defensive style of play with double armory coming down, so this is going to be hard for Polt to push through if he is going to try something crazy. Of course, with that scan, he also revealed the additional factories, so he does know he's playing against mech with the add-on of Marauders. But is he going to try and break this down? Because these tanks cover great location. They cover all the third, they cover all the natural ramp, and there's a lot of Hellions making their way across. He has to be so careful. There's actually 4 Hellions to the third base, only 2 SCVs there, luckily. Or unluckily, if you Polt, you don't really have good saturation, but luckily he does get a...
Oh, he doesn't have concussive shell. Oh, it's just about to wrap up.
Yeah, it's okay though.
But there's still that main pack of Hellions that they're sitting under the Xel'Naga Tower, so they're kind of like forcing Polt to keep that in mind, that hey, we're still here and we're still a threat, although the reinforcements should clean them out.
Solid play so far from Keen. Very solid play. Using the barracks to float the scout. Hellions going to run the way around. Polt's got to be careful not to take damage. He's using a handful of units, but there's a lot of Hellions here that could just run by.
Good control though. The Marauders will eventually force them out. Marauders taking almost no damage even from Blue Flame.
And we do have 1-1 upgrades coming for Keen now, who's not going to take any damage at this third base.
Oh, unseen. But he will be forced out.
Yeah. Polt is pushed away here, and Keen's taking his advantage and throwing it into mech here. What's Polt going to do to counteract this? He's only at 1 engineering bay. He's only at +1 attack, and his Polt falling apart here is the problem we're experiencing, but I don't know if this is going to be okay. Polt now throws down additional factory and additional barracks. He is also just trying to build units and catch apart, but everywhere is defending. Sensor towers, turrets, tank in the main. Sensor tower, turrets, tank in the third. Nowhere is droppable, nowhere is touchable. And Keen will just power and power and power until he reaches 200 supply. Polt's looking for a way.
Exactly, he has to find a way to do some damage here. His opponent's just sitting back. I mean, the thing is with Mech is that he's just exactly that. He can just sit back here with the tanks. He's covering all the different angles. There's no
that tank as opening. Well. Just everything Keen has an answer for, and Polt was like, oh, I guess that can't work. Is he going to try and lift up? Scanned by Keen.
Double scan. Yeah. But it's just so very difficult. Upgrades on the way as well for Keen. He's about to get 1-1.
Oh, he's on siege.
Oh, this is a good opportunity. But he does manage to siege up again. Polt actually committing to it though, working his way through those Hellions. But the Vikings are actually in production and they're taking out those medevacs, and Polt can't afford to give those up.
And Keen only lost a handful of tanks to like 1, 2 maybe, and in trade there was a lot of Marine Marauders go down, and ideally it's great to trade Marines for Marine Marauders against tanks, but not when you're on equal economy. That's only when you're ahead, to be honest. And Polt trying to look for a different angle here. This is very difficult. Remember, both of these guys looking to go to the final. Both of them need to win the entire tournament to actually qualify for the main tournament. Sorry. Keen's getting
the opportunity.
Cocky, man. He's got Vikings. He's got Thors. He knows he's gonna crush us, and he does.
Loses one Thor, but yeah, I mean those tanks in the back are gonna fall, and the medevacs are being forced out as well. There's nothing really that Polt has. Polt doesn't have an answer to this.
And Keen on sieges, man. He's gonna actually walk across the map. He killed so much there. And he's got a Thor that's going to tank a lot of damage. He's got Vikings to scout, and he's scanning as well, making sure that there's not too many units there. Always using scans. A lack of mules in this matchup. A 4th base coming down for both players. But Keen's about to take the center map and the center position. And with the center position can cause a lot of problems here for Polt, who cannot attack up that ever. He's going to lose position on his natural 3rd soon as well if he's not careful. And Keen is just playing a magnificent last game.
He is. It just looks so very solid. He's impenetrable right now, just doing a fantastic job. Good splitting from Polt with this engagement. The Hellions and the tanks not doing too much damage, but still, he is eventually forced back. He does have full saturation on the 3rd. But in any case, we do have... I mean, he's just getting ground out right now. And this is actually the worst kind of position for himself to find in, for him to find himself in.
Yeah, the slow death march of Keen is making its way from the natural to his opponent's natural, with Vikings giving the tanks the vision they need to actually get the advantage on the opponent's tanks. Keen is pushing forward, and he has more and more units waypointed across. A 4th and 5th command center now down for Keen. And Polt is facing death here. He's facing the end of his tournament here, and he knew he had to go the distance, but right now Keen has got a sick containment, and with Vikings and the barracks, he will edge forward step by step with tanks to take control, and this is looking really, really bad here. Really bad here for Polt.
Yeah, this is dire indeed. And now Polt, he's running out of options. He has to make a move soon, or he's just going to get pushed right up his ramp. As we see, as you said, look at this. You know, we have the leapfrog happening. Although Keen kind of backing up a little bit indecisive, but exactly that. He's going to go ahead and just push forward and do as he pleases.
Yeah, look at this. SCV's just going to go tanking some damage after doing their repairs. Unfortunately, they're still doing repairs in the heat of the battle, and that is not the worst thing. But it's not the best thing either.
This Thor is going to work. It's insane. He's tanking damage. He even gets kills with it. It's just sick.
Auto repair SCVs, and the tank line is just too thick now. Last tank falls. No, there's one tank left for Polt to hold that area. But at this stage of the game, unless he's caught unsieged with everything, Polt can't break this. There's Hellions, there's tanks with 1-1. Unfortunately for Keen, he hasn't got 2-2. He's just powering away with units. Polt is looking. Polt, even though Keen has got a great position, Polt is not out of it yet. If he catches all this on siege with Marauders in there with +2 attack, he can do it.
He's trying to make his way around. I mean, of course, Mech is immobile.
Keen accepts it and counters the movement easily. Great counter movement there by Keen. And slowly but surely this push will continue to go forward.
It's actually hurting Polt's forces up into the top left corner of the map. And Polt is being caught. Now he has to make something happen for himself. A little bit of an engagement there, but no stim, so not fully committing. And he's just getting pushed. I mean, Keen is just knocking him around. It's like a bull watching a bully go to work, you know? He's just like, give me your lunch money. He's just not even letting up for a second.
And I love it that he's not getting 2-2, just making more and more tanks instead, and more Vikings instead of upgrading the power. He knows he can get the win now, and look at this pincer movement. Polt has to do something. He has to do it now. Keen is getting position. Polt, what are you going to do? He walks in unstimmed on the left-hand side. He loses so much, and he walks on the right-hand side as well. And Polt now is facing death. He loses half his army unstimmed. And Keen is outplaying here in the second and third game. Polt is about to get pushed all the way back home.
Magnificent game. He's actually just unsieged the tanks, and he's A-moving. Like, that's how confident Keen is at this point.
Yeah. And look at that.
There's nothing you can do. Keen, he is so much.
Auto repair SUVs coming through, and the tanks will start to siege up on the natural. And it looks like Polt has got a handful of Marines and no Marauders there. Gonna try to do that blue flame high and say hello to the Marines on the center. They just die, and Polt has position. I mean, Keen has position on Polt. These tanks aren't breaking down, and what a beautiful mech play here by Keen. Absolutely destroying Polt. Good game. Keen moves on to the